Hey friends, hope you're all doing well today. So I am here to do a book haul, and I guess it's actually my July book haul technically, because I actually bought all these things during July. I really need to calm down on the book buying because my ever-growing physical TBR is exactly that. It's ever-growing. I need to really hit the nail on the head with some backlisted books that I've had for a while and just kind of clear out, because it gets to the stage where I start reading a lot of things or buying a lot more things and then losing interest or moving on from particular genres. So I kind of need to hone in on what I've already got and stop being greedy. But you guys know book collection, book loving, it's just difficult. So, but anyway, there's that random kind of information. I have got mainly, it's like a graphic novel, middle grade, and then a couple other books, and then a little stationery haul for you guys today. So hopefully it's not too long. I know my book hauls tend to be uber long, but also I guess just before we get onto that, I know I've been recently approved for a Netgalley book, so I want to quickly mention that before I forget, just to include it in this book haul. And I still need to download that actually. So the book that I've recently been approved for is Breathless by Jennifer Niven, or Niven. I think, what did she write? She wrote, I'm pretty sure it says, All the Bright Places, which I hadn't read, but everybody said it was amazing. So I think it's got like a similar cover. I don't know if just her books are just going to be nicely matchy, but it doesn't look like it's a sequel or anything like that. It just seems like it's a new novel, and it just says, "You were my first, not just sex, although that was part of it, but the first time to look past everything else into me. Some of the names and places have been changed, but the story is true." Claudine Henry was not supposed to spend her summer on this remote island off the coast of Georgia. She was supposed to be on the road trip with her best friend, spending every last minute together before they go to college. But after her father makes a shock announcement, she is exiled with her shaken mother, with no phone service and no one she knows. She's completely cut off until she meets Jeremiah, free-spirited, mysterious and beautiful. Their chemistry is immediate and irresistible. They both know that whatever they have can only last a summer, but maybe one summer is enough. So it sounds like a sweet summery read. So yeah, on to the physical books. I have bought all of these actually off of eBay. So my friend Kat from Kat's Reading Corner on Instagram, she does like her daily kind of Instagram story reading update, and she mentioned she buys some stuff on eBay, and I don't know why I'd never thought to buy used books off of eBay before, but these are all in phenomenal condition. I think this one first that I'm going to show you came from like a book seller, like kind of shop from there, and I think it's new anyway, but they're just so much cheaper. And I have got the final book in the Waterfire saga, which is Sea Spell by Jennifer Donnelly. So I think a couple of months ago I read Dark Tide, which is book 3 in a reading vlog, or I spoke about it or something, and I really wanted to finish this series this year because I had been reading this series basically since it came out in like 2015 or something like that, something ridiculous, and it's now like what, 5 years later, and yeah, I was worried that I was going to fall out of love with it, and that kind of happened a little bit. Like, it just felt a little bit young for me when I was reading the third book, so I really would like to kind of knock this last one out just to finish the series, and I do enjoy them. They're really good. And just on the back, I was just going to say, the way this was introduced to me was as Percy Jackson, but mermaids. I guess by that it means it's following a group of mermaids. They meet under the circumstance that they're a part of this like prophecy, and they need to go into this specific quest to stop an old evil rising again. And yeah, so it's an adventure, it's friendship, it's a lot going on. It's a really fun series, and this is the final book. So the other books are Deep Blue, Rogue Wave, Dark Tide, and then the final book, which is Sea Spell. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting this in the next couple of months, in the next couple of months, just to finish off this series this year, which would be awesome. It may possibly be the first series that I finish this year, because I've been trying to complete or get up to date with some books, especially if I already own them or I've read a big chunk out of them. So that'll be fun. Then I bought from 2 different sellers 4 volumes, the 4 first volumes of the Fables book, comics, and I didn't realise this is an older series than before, but I've been wanting to read this series for a good while. When the game Wolf Among Us came out, I was excited and it seemed kind of familiar, and I learned that the game was based off of these comics, and they're basically like sort of like it kind of, I guess you could say maybe like grim in a way. It's like fairy tales or whatever, but like in real life settings. Like they're kind of more gritty and more realistic, I guess, than fairy tales would have it. It's like a fairy tale kind of vibe, actually. I've just realised I've got 2 other stories that feature fairy tale themes. Maybe that'll be the title, I don't know. So that's kind of like the briefest kind of synopsis of the series. Obviously I'll know more when I get to reading. But we have volume 1, which is Legends in Exile, volume 2, which is Animal Farm. They've all got really cool covers. Volume 3, which is Storybook Love. They get thicker and thicker. And volume 4, which is March of the Wooden Soldiers. So I think 4 volumes is a good place to start, seeing if I like it and such. The art style looks like the classic kind of original, if you will, comic book kind of style. So yeah, let's see if I enjoy these. I feel like I would. Then I went into the works and I picked up the Land of Stories collection by, who are you by, Chris Colfer. This series has been on my radar for a good while, and to see the box set, I think it was for £15, yeah, all 6 of them, I believe this is the complete set, was really exciting, and the covers are just stunning, and look at the spines, and yeah. So this is, oh, that's strange, that's really sad actually. So I never watched Glee, but Chris Colfer, I forgot that this was him. Oh no, it's scratched at the back. He was in Glee, and obviously recently the sad news of Naya's death has recently come about, which is horrible, but it's just weird how things connect, isn't it? But yeah, this is his middle grade series, and from what I know of this, it's following, I think, a brother and sister who've grown up with all these fairy tales, fairy stories, and magic and wonder, and they stumble, I don't know how, but they stumble into it being real, and it's not quite what they expected from the stories they grew up with. So it sounds like a fun adventure. I'm guessing every book kind of follows a different type of fairy tale. I don't know if it's going to be straight up fairy tales that we know, or if they're going to be made up for the book or what, but the Land of Stories just sound fantastic. I love books, well, I love the idea of like books about books, particularly magical books and stories. So yeah, we've got The Wishing Spell, The Enchantress Returns, A Grim Warning, Beyond the Kingdoms, An Author's Odyssey, and Worlds Collide. So I'm very excited to try this and see what the writing's like. Ah, and it even says on the back, so through the mysterious powers of a cherished book of stories, twins Alex and Connor leave their world behind and find themselves in a foreign land full of wonder and magic, where they come face to face with the fairy tale characters they grew up reading about. Yes, sounds great. So it'd be nice maybe if I could read these, not back to back, but quite close together. Continuing on with that fairy tale vibe, these are retellings, and this is a series, I think years ago, it might have been 2015 as well actually, I did a series I want to start kind of video, and this was on there, and it's been on there for how many years? Probably 5 years, and I still haven't got to it. And now I'm kind of gutted that I didn't buy the new covers, but I saw this in there for a good price and I thought, let me get it. And that is Cinder by Marissa Mayer, the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. And I think a lot of people know about this. It's basically sci-fi, YA, reimagining classic stories like Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, who else have they got? It's Rapunzel in one of them. Yeah, there's like 4 and I think a couple of short stories. And this one is A Forbidden Romance, A Deadly Plague, Earth's fate hinges on one girl. Cinder, a gifted mechanic in New Beijing, is reviled by her stepmother and blamed for her stepsister's sudden illness, but when her life becomes entwined with the handsome Prince K's, she finds herself at the centre of a violent struggle between the desires of an evil queen and a dangerous temptation. Cinder is caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal. Now she must uncover secrets about her mysterious past order to protect Earth's future. I'm so excited to finally start this series. I hope I enjoy it because it's one that I've kind of low-key been hyping myself up for ages. I don't know why I've been waiting so long to buy them, but hopefully I enjoy this first book at least. And then something completely random that I picked up as I was about to pay, and that is Rise Up, the murky story of Stormzy. And I really like Stormzy. I don't listen to a lot of rap music or anything, but his music gets me on another level. Like, I absolutely adore him. I adore his stage presence. I think from what I know he's awesome. Like, I would love to learn more about him. And subconsciously, another thing that I'm challenging myself to do is read more like autobiographies and stuff, particularly about musicians. I'm still on the lookout for the perfect book to start with Kate Bush, because I love her and I'd love something about her. But I've read like Little People Big Dreams kind of autobiographies, and a few of them have been about musicians, so I've dipped my toe in gently, but I'd like to have like a nice one with like colourful photographs and stuff. And yeah, so it just says here, how do you create something from nothing? How do you progress without compromising who you are? How do you strive for the future without forgetting your past? Where will your ambition take you? Rise Up is a guide to achieving success on your own terms, from the Murky team. So yeah, I think it's just gonna maybe not necessarily be a lot about him, but just about how he came to success, advice, that sort of stuff. But hopefully I enjoy that. And then on to the more stationery stuff. So I bought a load of stuff from Hobbycraft because I do my reading journals, but they never come out how I want them, and I've always wanted this particular paper, like thickness, and try and make it as pretty as possible. So I thought, let me buy a couple of things. So the first thing I was looking for was actually a nice sketch pad, because I couldn't find the one that I knew I had, and it turned out it was at my grandparents'. So I picked it up, got this, but because I didn't know if it was there or not, I ordered a few things. I ordered this one thinking it was the right size, kind of sort of thought it might not be, so I bought a different notepad as well. But this is a tiny A6 sketchbook by C. White of Brighton, and it's just that nice sketch paper. So I don't know what I'm going to use this for, maybe little doodles, but this is definitely not big enough for me when it comes to journaling. I also got these really beautiful watercolour markers. You can activate them with water for more of like an actual watercolour effect, or you can use them straight pigment, I believe, for like thicker, more heavily pigmented colour. I bought my first ever, I believe, set of washi tapes, just some really nice like speckly, rainbowy kind of colours, hopefully to line some cool creations in my journal. This thick Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen Big Brush in black 199, just for hopefully like titles and stuff, and kind of calligraphy, but not like, you know, just that calligraphy style, like where it's all like blah 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 blah. And then because I kind of thought maybe I'd get the wrong size of that sketchbook, I got this beautiful marble sort of sketchbook as well. It's also got that sort of thick, almost card paper, so this would be nice if I wanted to use this for the reading journal, which I was going to if I didn't find this one. But I think I like how this one opens so completely for that sort of thing, just so I don't have to try and connect, do you know what I mean, like down the dip for things to work. But perhaps I can save this for another time. I don't know, I'll find a use for it. Sketchbooks you'll always find a use for, notebooks you'll always find a use for. So that's it really. That is my little book haul, little stationery reading journal haul, and yeah, I'll catch you in another video soon. Bye.